I want to overhaul the UI in my Java game by adding animations, shading effects, 2D and 3D interactions, and much more. So first I created a system to allow for simple linear GUI animations like the one shown here, but that doesn't look too great, so I created an easing function system to use some maths functions to create nicer animations with no extra keyframes, like this ease in out function, or this pull back and release function, or even this lovely bounce function. I've shown you the animations, but I haven't really explained how the system works. We have these things called keyframes, and across the animation there will be multiple of them. They hold attributes such as the position or scale, and of course the time they're found at. At these times, the GUI will have the attribute of the keyframe, and in between we interpolate the two attributes. Without an easing function, it's linear like this, but the easing function changes the shape of this imaginary line, which changes the way the attribute is interpolated. So the last feature of this section is a menu system. This is just a nicer way for me to create menus that support multiple pages, dynamic interactions, and I can also add a custom open and close animation, which is lovely. The next thing I got to work on was the cursor's interactions with the 3D world, which I am using here to highlight the planet the cursor is currently over. What is happening here is the cursor's position is being used to calculate a vector away from the camera and into the 3D scene. This can then be checked to see if anything intersects with it, and if it does, then that object is currently being covered by the cursor. I've then used this to open a menu when the player clicks on a planet to show some stats about it, although at the moment these are just placeholder fake attributes. I next decided to start work on some of the more decorative features. Here you can see a dynamic border, or some rounded corners, or why not even both? I've also added an animatable transparency value. This value can be inherited from the parent, allowing for easy fade in and fade out GUI transitions of great big parent-child stacks. I will then use this system to fade out any GUIs that may be on the screen when a menu opens, and of course, fade them back in when the menu closes. As a final test for this system, I created this pause menu with animations, a new font, and some working buttons. That's all I have for this one. If you have any suggestions, just leave them in the comments. Cheers.